Hey guys, Dr. Fernandez here, I guess with another update. You guys might be able to give me an update because I'm sure you probably watch the news a lot more than I do. But I'm sure everybody's aware. Numbers are going higher. We still don't appear to have this under control. It's going on around the world. And it is alarming. And we are all following the guidelines for quarantining, which I think is a good idea. I'm not talking bad about it. I think we here in Miami, we would have had things like Ultra Music Festival. We would have had things like Calle We would have had the youth there. And if we would have had these events, I definitely believe our numbers would have been a lot higher. We would have probably been looking at the same situation that they're looking at in New York or Louisiana. But at the end of the day, we cannot be just reactive. We cannot just sit around and wait in the hopes that this is just going to blow over and we're never going to come in contact with this, because we don't know that. I mean, you're still getting packages received to your house, and you're still doing groceries, and you're still eating food from other places, and there's still... So I want you to be proactive. I had a nurse that came into my office, and we started talking about a case that walked in. A lady walked into the hospital, and she had pain in her chest, a little shortness of breath. They took an x-ray, and they found that she had pneumonia. So never had a fever, never had anything. So they tested her for this virus. I'm not going to say the actual word because apparently the algorithms will knock us off of the platform which posts this video. So, but the virus. And she was positive. So she was positive for this virus. This virus had been in her system long enough to actually do damage to her lungs to the point where her immune system was actually now creating pneumonia, and she never had a fever. And that concerns me. That alarms me, because everybody thinks that maybe the fevers are the issue. In fact, that's one of the ways that they're measuring to see whether or not a person has this bug or not. The question I would ask is, how is it possible you have a virus doing all this damage, creating pneumonia, and yet you don't have a fever? And that's usually a clear sign that her immune system was not functioning properly. Now, a few days after she was diagnosed with this, she develops a fever of 105 degrees. I think it's too little too late. So yes, she developed a fever. Now the fever is very high because there's actually a lot of damage done in the tissue, and her body's actually trying to overreact. If you use reason, wouldn't it have made sense that if she would have maybe gotten this fever very early on in the infection, and it would have been the primary thing that her body would have done, maybe it could have actually suppressed the virus's ability to actually incubate or do damage to multiple cells. I mean, a fever, not that I'm saying it, you look at any of the text, a fever is your primary defense mechanism. So you want this fever as early on as possible. So you can either stop a bacterial infection, or you can stop a virus attacking from the system. So you at least slow its progress down. And so the quicker we would get these signs and symptoms, the better off it would be. When a person gets a flu, research says that they can maybe show signs or symptoms anywhere from 1 to 3 days later after the infection. When it comes to this new bug, some people are showing symptoms. Could take 5 days. It could take up to 2 weeks. In fact, some people don't even show symptoms at all. But again, using reason, if you have an infection, virus comes into your body, would you want to be one of the ones that gets a fever right away? Or would you want to be one of the ones that's going to take 2-3 weeks before they show a fever? How long have you allowed this to actually multiply or grow inside the body? This is what I'm talking about when it comes to be proactive. How can we make sure that your immune system is functioning at its maximum potential? People can say that whether a person has an underlying condition or not, it could affect them. We don't know. We don't know what people's underlying conditions are. All we can do is, what can we do to be proactive when it comes to your immune system? I'll tell you something. I've been practicing for 26 years, and one of the things that I've learned in 26 years, it's amazing to know that people show symptoms, okay? People think they get sick when they take vacations, when they take a long week off, when they take a long weekend off, and they rest. And they'll come in and they'll say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that finally I get a vacation after a year, and my first 3 or 4 days of the vacation, I spent it in bed because I was feeling terrible. Did they get sick because they took a vacation? Or did they get healthy because they took a vacation? They got all the signs and symptoms that tells them they're not feeling good, but that's their body probably purging itself of either bacteria or viruses that have been sitting dormant in the body, something they should have dealt with weeks or months ago, and now they're finally getting these signs and symptoms. So when it comes to your healthcare, I don't necessarily measure it on the symptoms or lack of. We want to make sure that we're doing all the right things to actually boost your immunity. People ask me, what am I doing? The people that have heard me talk, it's nothing strange to know that I've been pushing the vitamin C. And now it's not just me saying it, everybody's saying it. In fact, I had a report here. In New York hospitals, they're actually treating the virus patients with high-dose intravenous vitamin C. Why do they use vitamin C? Well, they were looking into a study from China, and the study from China mentioned, not that I believe anything that comes from China, but the study from China mentioned that the people that were getting intravenous vitamin C high dose actually reacted better than the ones that were not getting the vitamin C. So they use it intravenously because it goes straight into your bloodstream. It does not go through your digestive system. And in order for you to take a lot of vitamin C digestively, it's going to give you an upset stomach. It's going to irritate. You might get diarrhea. You might get the works. I actually use a product, a vitamin C product that is made by a company called Biogenics. Okay. It's called Maxi. And they use a technology called liposomal technology. So I don't necessarily take this through my digestive tract. I actually pump this into the cheek, right between my cheek and my gums, and I let it sit there for about 30 seconds, and your body actually absorbs it through the mucus lining in the mouth through this liposomal technology, and it makes it very efficient. So you utilize most of the stuff that you're taking in as opposed to killing most of it in your digestive tract. In addition to the vitamin C, I take glutathione, which is a very potent antioxidant, and I use this because the goal is to help protect the cellular walls. Any type of antioxidant usually helps protect the cell walls from oxidation, aging, and all these other things. So I use these two products. Now, these two particular products, if you're interested in these products, they have to be ordered by a physician, by a doctor. So we order these products. We have them in the office. People that are concerned about leaving their house, we can actually drop ship this. So you can send this to your house. The only thing is you got to pay for the shipping. But if you're not using my product, look, if you can get vitamin C anywhere because it's a hot commodity, you try to take it from somewhere. But this is something that I'm using because I actually find it very beneficial. I get myself adjusted. I mean, obviously, as a chiropractor, everybody knows that your lifeline between your brain and your body is going to be that spinal cord and spinal nerves. Your vertebral column protects that lifeline. And if this vertebral column is creating stress onto your nervous system, well, your nervous system controls a function of every other system in your body. Your digestive system, your circulatory system, your immune system, your lymphatic system, all these systems are under the direct control of that nervous system. So if we put stress on the nervous system, is there a chance that it's going to actually suppress our immune system? Possibility is there. I get myself adjusted. I exercise. If you don't use it, you lose it. I'm telling everybody right now, you're in quarantine. Do not be sitting at home being a couch potato because you need to be ready because you don't know if the wind's going to blow the wrong way from the next door neighbor's house and boom, here it comes and you got a hold of this bug. You're receiving packages, you're buying food. We're not going to always be able to avoid this thing. You just want to be in your best shape possible if you do get this. Listen, at the end of the day, whether we get through this first phase or not, we know it's going to be back. You need to start being proactive when it comes to your health. You can't be reactive. We can't wait for something to happen. Wait for the pill or potion to come and save our lives because you know what? The pill or potion is not there. You need to start being proactive right now because this will be back. The people that already went through it right now, they probably don't have to deal with it again. The people that haven't been through it, at some point or another, we might have to. We might have to figure it out. And all I'm telling you is the best chance that you have is being proactive right now, boosting your immunity. So like, God forbid, it's your turn, you're going to be ready for it. Dr. Fernandez, yours in health. God bless. Be safe.